The existence of Barndo and our entire friendship is there's a problem. Call Ross.
We came home after that event. I'm sitting on the couch and my wife's like, "What are you thinking about?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know how this happened."
1,000%.
That means we're hustling the ball to get out there, look at your property, get all these quotes and stuff like that. Like, no, 30 days at the most. He's moving in with Yuffie Falls.
Bro, I was shocked.
Yep.
And then I wasn't shocked. So you're not just a number. We don't build track homes.
Nope.
You're still getting the same service. You're still getting the spotlight is still on you, whether it's SFH or it's Barndo. The only catch is that you still get the same project manager. You still get the same service from your sales agent. Everything is the same. The only difference is you can afford it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Barndo Show. I got my homie Ross in here with me today. I'm so excited. I love getting to do the podcast with you, man. And
We don't do it enough.
I know. But
You got all the important people. And
you
then
took 17 phone calls right before this started, so you're the problem.
A little bit.
You need to sing the Taylor Swift song. It's me.
Yeah.
But so before we talk at business, we got to talk about important stuff. You and I made a really fun purchase. What did we buy? You don't even know. You
I
buy
have no
stuff
idea
so
which time
much.
we buy so much stuff. What are you
Bro,
talking about?
the freaking dirt bikes.
Oh, bro, I have ridden the chain off that thing. Sorry, I need to be in the mic.
So very rarely am I the one that sparks an interest in purchasing a toy. But Ross was talking about, because duck season's coming up, and Ross was trying to solve a problem. What was the problem?
So here's the deal. I'm always trying to figure out a way. You're right. It's the existence of Barndo and our entire friendship is there's a problem. Call Ross, and I will come up with the most absurd way to fix it that most people will shake their head at. So we bought bikes.
Yep.
Fat cats.
Yep. Big wheels
To ride around.
If you don't know what that is, so basically in the late 80s, somebody come up with an idea to cut a four-wheeler in half and just make a big-wheeled motorcycle. And I had one as a kid. Actually, my cousin had one. And you were looking at mini bikes.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you going to buy a mini bike for?" And he was like, "I'm going to put it on my sled for my duck boat. And then when I go to Arkansas,
I'll drag them.
Yeah, when I hit the woods, I'm going to get on that and I'm going to race to the hole so I could be the first man there."
That's right.
And I said, "You should buy a Fat Cat."
And I had no idea what that was.
And then 15 minutes later on Facebook, and Ross found two of them in Kentucky.
An hour apart.
And I was like, "We're never going to buy these things." And then literally the next morning, he was like, "Hey, I sent our driver up there to pick them up."
So here's the story. I went to go to our new office that we're opening up tomorrow or this weekend, and realized that I was still another 4.5 hours away, and I chickened out. And then I called the hot shot guy and was like, "Hey, bro, I need you to bail me out." And that's how that went down, guys.
Yep. And so then a few days later, we're at Ross's house, and a semi pulls up with two 80s models, mint condition.
They're old as us.
Yeah.
They're literally our age.
Yep. And in perfect condition.
Yes.
And so he rolled them off the thing, and it literally reinvigorated my childhood.
Yeah.
Immediately hopped on. And so I posted a picture, and I'll try to get it to you, Jenna and Drew, so that we could put it up. But it was like, "Hey, the celebration before the injury."
That's clickbait right there. That's clickbait.
But anyway, buying those, man, it has been awesome. That is the most fun thing that you can ride on two wheels, without a question. There's nothing that even compares, and they're the most dangerous thing.
Shout out to Honda and Yamaha.
Yeah. And then somebody asked a question to me. They were like, "Why don't they make those anymore?" I was like, "Because people were dying." And so they basically just shut down production. And there's really no use for them. They were created, I think, for sand dunes and stuff. But I just remember as a kid, we would absolutely ruin acres of cotton and tobacco fields in North Carolina with my cousin. So
the next day we get them back, and I'm trying to figure out, are they 2 strokes or 4 strokes? We don't know what they are. And so I was searching on YouTube, and I'm typing in Honda Fat Cat, blah, 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 and I pull up YouTube, and the first 7 videos are Honda's deadliest bike. That's literally the first 7 videos.
That's what you need for duck hunting. Like, I don't even duck hunt, but in my mind, I'm like, you're going to kill way more ducks this year because you got that.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So, anyway, we're taking applications for our replacements if something does happen on the on the big wheel bikes.
I'll re-up my insurance. It's okay. We're good.
But yeah, man. So that's a blast. Like, and stuff like that is just behind the scenes, like the human side of it. Yeah. It's fun to just. I'm telling you, man. Like, you want to melt stress away, you just get on that bad boy and just go rip through the woods one time. Like, It's fun. It is so fun. It does remind me, though, that I'm way old. And I am 100 pounds heavier than I was the last time I rode one.
But they're fast for us. Yeah. That thing's hauling 290 pounds of straight lard.
At 45 miles an hour.
Bro, I'm serious. That thing is stout.
I know, man.
You said 200, and I was like, these things are going to go like moped speed. No. They are dangerous.
Yeah, they rip.
Yeah.
They rip. My wife's mad at me because I was outside, like, trying to, again, reignite my youth, and I'm like riding wheelies in the front yard, and she's like, "Go ahead, Nummy, go ahead, yeah." And when you fall and break something, then what?
Oh no, when you called me about your dad.
Yeah, my dad came over to my house.
Shout out to Ronnie.
So my dad comes over to my house, and my dad is the craziest, most lunatic, hardest working individual.
He's Bam Margera.
Yeah. So, and he ignited in me at a young age like this passion for riding dirt bikes and motorcycles, and he had a spill at the beginning of the year because he's hard-headed and still likes to do remodeling and construction, and he's building his house, and I get a phone call. He fell off the roof and broke his leg, and so, like, I'm talking massive break, and basically had to have complete reconstruction surgery on his foot.
He's got a titanium shin.
Yeah. He is
forever on the flight list at the airport.
He's the Terminator now, and so he has just regained the ability to walk. And he comes to my house, and I put him on that motorcycle, and he's like, "I'm gonna see how fast it'll go." And so he's ripping through my neighborhood on this bike, and I'm recording. I said to my mom. My mom was like, "He's moving in with you if he falls."
Bro, I was shocked.
Yep.
And then I wasn't shocked.
Yep. No, it's there. That's where the crazy comes from. Yeah. Like, if anybody ever wonders, like, what made TJ that way? It's 90% Ronnie Norris.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. He's a legend.
Oh, dude, I love that guy. Love him. He was I was about to say a bad word to work for as a kid, but it did work. It did. Like, he
created work ethic,
if nothing else.
You work or starve,
and back problems.
Yeah, but, for sure.
I give him credit for both. Right?
Yeah,
you made me
sure.
You gave me work ethic and chronic back injuries.
That is the podcast you need. We need to get your dad.
X-rated after dark.
I can tell you now, he's so talkative. He's so, kidding, joking on the job site if he knows you. But I promise you, get in, he'd be like,
yeah. Oh, he has the gift. What he would do is the first minute he would throw me some curveball that I would know what to say. Like, he's the gift of gab.
Footage over.
But we got a bunch of stuff going on. In addition to new dirt bikes, man, we're launching the Knoxville location this Saturday. What's this Saturday? The 24th? Mm-hmm. So the 24th, we're going up to Seymour, doing the ribbon cutting. That's going to be awesome, man. Like, that office is and Amanda, shout out Amanda. She just did a podcast episode with us, and we talked a little bit about this, but she has pioneered that, and the whole team up there, Tanya, Mark, all of them, they've really worked and rallied around the clock to make this happen. It's the fastest launch that we've done.
The most organized launch.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's credit to Amanda. I mean, Amanda is a planner. Like, I made the mistake of saying, like, I don't think you're going to hit this date, and then she started sharing Excel files and line items, and I'm like, okay, yeah, well,
yeah, she's wanting to move over to production.
The world ain't ready for that move.
No.
But
our subs aren't ready for that move.
So we have the ribbon cutting up there. We're excited about Eastern Tennessee expansion for Barndo, and like being able to go up there, and the market's hot for it, man. Like, they're just bringing people in left and right up there before the office is even open. But in addition to that, on what was it, the 4th, August 4th, we launched a brand new product line, SFH. You guys heard me drop some hints of that when I was talking with Andre Bauer about, there's a need for affordable housing and things like that. And here's kind of the backstory on SFH. But wait, hold on. I got one other thing we got to talk about before we do SFH. You guys can go back and watch the episode. I had a lady on here named Pam Dean. and we talked about Carolina Miracle League. And you've heard me talk about Carolina Miracle League 1,000,000 times. I talk about it all the time. I'm super passionate about it. If you don't know what it is, you can go to carolinamiracleleague.org and find out all about it. But basically, they gift the game of baseball to children and adults with special needs. And it's kind of funny. It's like the simple game of baseball,
right.
And it changes lives. And I've got to benefit from it because I have a daughter with special needs who wasn't even supposed to walk. And, she has that ability now. But not everyone does, and it doesn't matter. They still play. And so she's been playing this since she was 4. She turns 15 in November, and it's an incredible thing. And when we started this company, giving was kind of at the core. You were passionate about it. I'm crazy passionate about it. And we just
I like the word you put before that.
Crazy.
You're absolutely crazy.
I am. I'm a lunatic about it.
I have to reel him back in, guys.
Yeah. I just.
We would have nothing in our bank accounts, just so y'all know.
Yeah. For me, it's one of those things where it sparked, and I tell this story a lot, and I may have even shared it on this podcast before, but the first year my daughter played, I couldn't afford the registration fee. And I remember just praying my guts out, like, if I had money, I could change the world. And so, like, when we started this, one of the things I wanted to make sure that was forefront, and you were the same, it was just where and what. But we wanted to make sure we gave. So we allocated a percentage of every dollar that comes in this company goes back into the community, and we do it through a multitude of partners, but Carolina Miracle League has kind of been the marquee partner. And so last year we did this crazy thing on a whim because I left the office on a Friday and decided we were going to rent a water park, and we were doing it in 2 weeks, and we strung it together, and it was awesome. We had like 300 kids there, and we gave a check for like $35,000, which was huge, and like it was impactful. And so this year, the whole 2024 and the last half of 2023, we've been talking about Summer Bash 2.0, the second year.
Right.
We rented the water park again. Jenna ran point on that, and that was a big deal. And I told her, I was like, hey, this needs to be your primary focus, and this is going to take all your time, effort, and energy. And she was like, hey, yeah. And then as it fast approached, you could see it. And so now that that's over, like Jenna's like on cloud 9 because she come up to me at Summer Bash and she said this. She said, TJ, I've never even planned a birthday party, and you entrusted me to plan an event for 500 people. And like
she's here, guys.
Yeah, she's looking at me right now. She knows it's true though. Look at her. Look at that is a smile of relief that's on her face.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, and the weather was.
And you did great,
battling us, but like it turned out to be a brilliant night. It was this past Saturday. Yeah, this past Saturday, the 17th. And we did the event, and we did this, and we tapped into our sub base, and we went to some of our vendors and suppliers and people that work with us in the field, and they've got passionate about Carolina Miracle League because of our passion. And we kind of challenged them, said, hey, look, we want you guys to be involved with this, with money and time, because part of this deal is we go out there and volunteer at the field. And they stepped up to the plate big time. It blew my mind away. So between our vendors, subs, lenders, partners, all that stuff, they actually raised more money than we gave last year. And then you and I had a desire to give $100,000 to the Miracle League. Mm-hmm. And we were like, if we could write a check for $100,000 next summer, that was last year's talking, we were like, that's a big moment for us. Yeah. And then our vendor partners raised $48,850.
Yeah, they were at the bar.
And so we were looking at it, and there was a moment there where we were like, what do we give? And you and I were like, we're writing a check for $100,000. So we gave the Miracle League $148,850 this past Saturday. And it's because of the people that build with us. And it's because of the partnerships. And it's because, we try to keep the main thing. A big part of our core values is giving. Our whole company's bought into it. They show up, they volunteer, they run the events. Like, it's the least we can do. So it was awesome to see that. And part of that $48,000 was even our own employees donating money from their own pockets to.
And it's cool though. So like a lot of our clients now get to participate. And if you build a house with us, that's your money.
Yep. I mean, that's why it's there. Yeah. People that choose to build with us gave.
It goes to a bigger.
Yeah, they did it. It wasn't us.
Yeah.
We were just good stewards of that money, but the money came from the clients. So the clients that built with us, thank you for that. And because of that, we were able to give $148,850 to the Carolina Miracle League, and they're going to do some incredible things with that. And Pam Dean's like reinvigorated. She's like, this is the biggest.
She's on fire.
She told us that Saturday that's the biggest single donation they've ever received in the Carolina Miracle League's history. And they're putting in like a digital scoreboard for the kids and like doing all this stuff. And she's been talking about this for a couple of years, and to see her like be like, I can do it now. And they got big plans. They've got kids. They're serving hundreds of kids and adults with 3 or 4 different age groups and leagues, and they play 3 nights a week, and they have a spring season, a fall season. The fall season's about to kick off. So we're just excited to be able to do that and be able to give generously to someone who literally donates their whole life to this mission. So that was a big moment, man. I wanted to shout that out and spend some time and just say thank you to everyone who has purchased plans, onboarded, or built with us, because you funded that. You did. Again, we elected to give those proceeds to them, but it's your money that made it possible. So thank you.
It was super cool to see all the kids there too.
Yeah. Oh man, there's nothing like it.
The parents were absolutely taken aback.
Yeah. I mean, as a parent with a child like that, there's not a lot of things like that happen. So, and the ability to just privately rent that water park out for a couple hours to where it's not long lines and it's in the evening, it's not super hot, and you've got 8 or 10 lifeguards full time watching those children.
Prime time on Saturday.
It lets people breathe a little bit, and for a couple of hours, everybody there is that they're normal. And the cool thing about it is we had some clients, we had subs, partners, employees there, and we're just kind of mixed into that. And the cool thing about it is when you're interacting at that level, you realize how impactful it is to give to something like that, and it makes it real for you. So super pumped, man. We've got 3 games that we're doing the volunteer thing at this fall, and then we got the big trunk or treat event with them. So it's going to be a great closeout to 2024 with the Miracle League. I'm so excited about it, and look forward to partnering with them in the future on different things. But that was a huge moment, man. That's we came home after that event. I'm sitting on the couch, and my wife's like, "What are you thinking about?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know how this happened. It was surreal. It was a surreal moment to be there and think that just happened. That happened. It's awesome. It's awesome. And so
it's super cool. That's 4.5 times the amount that we gave last year. Yeah. That's mind boggling.
It is. It is. And it's because, like I say, and
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's dreams, man. Insanity dreams that they can do some crazy stuff with.
Yeah. So I'm pumped about it. And it's a good segue back into what we were talking about, which is SFH. And so SFH was born out of 2 things. One is there was a reason that there's a need for it, right? So what we found out is we got 15,000 people in our database that have contacted us about building barndominiums. And in the process of talking to these people, there's been a lot of crazy things happen in the market, right? Interest rates are up 4 times, 5 times what they were.
You're rolling with the punches.
And so, it's not a lack of desire to build. There is an infinite amount of people who need a new home. We could build round the clock for the next 20 years, and we would never shrink the demand for houses, especially in our areas. The Southeast is booming. You can go back and watch that episode with Andre Bauer, and he'll give you all the reasons why. But South Carolina is booming, but all of the neighboring states that we're building in now, Tennessee, North Carolina, it is exploding, and it's creating a bigger deficit. And so we're building as fast as we can build, and it's barely making a dent. But the reality is there's a lot of people who need a certain size home, and they like the barndominium because of what it offers, right? Low maintenance. It's built like a Sherman tank. It's super energy efficient. There's a lot of things about it. But if you have a family and you're stuck to make this decision of I can't build what I need, or I can't build what I want because it won't give me what I need, then how do we meet that need? And then there's the perception of barndominiums are this cheap thing, and I've said it a million times. If I ever find the guy that said you could build them for half price, I'd kill him on Facebook Live. But you can build them when they're carports. Yeah. We won't even go down that road. Yeah. That's a whole other animal. So what we did is we sat down with our team and we strategized. One of the things that we've done in this company is when we went from building, 5 to 10 buildings a year to now we're facing, moving into 2025, we got to figure out a way to build 200 plus homes in a calendar year. We had to go and get talent. And so we brought guys in from the production world, taught them Barndo, and they have the knack for how to do it. And so in doing that, we sat down with them and said, let me ask you a question. Based off your experience and based off what the demand is, how could we create off of these floor plans that we know the houses people want, but we also know that with the way things are and with interest rates are a huge piece of this. costs are never going back to normal.
Right.
But interest rates dictate everything because your monthly payment is what every average American family is looking at. And when the interest rates are out of control, how do you manipulate that so that if that's the monthly payment, how do I get more space?
You're fitting them.
Yeah. And so we sat down and we spent months doing this, which was absolutely excruciating for me because I'm not a planner. I'm a doer. Like, I just want to do it. I'm be like, we're going to start building these tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so the team took about 4 to 6 months and went through these things and selected floor plans and literally reconstructed them in a way to where we could do a stick-built home with the same floor plan and change the way we build it, change some of the things that make the Barndos, more expensive, and create an economy line of product that gets people the space they need in a quality, affordable home. And they come back to us with the pricing. We put everything together, and then we launched that on August the 4th, and it's been insane, the attraction to it, because there's so many families who are stuck. And so you're not just stuck. You can still get what you want with a few sacrifices of finishes, but you can get what you need, and you can still build on your lot. You can still build your dream. You can still find someone to meet you in the middle. And there's not a lot of people that are out there chasing the affordable market, build on your lot style. And then there's the whole other side of this business where we fully intend to start putting in neighborhoods with the SFH line of product. But for now, it's built on your lot, and the pricing on it is absolutely incredible. And I shout out our team. Heath worked round the clock to make it as affordable as possible, and literally went to vendors and said, what do we have to do to get it here? Because we had a goal where we needed to be on the market price to make it the most affordable custom-built home on the market, and we did it. And so we've released it. It's a little bit of a limited map compared to our Barndo map, but there's a reason behind that. There's a lot of ramp up that goes into it, and our goal is over the next 12 months to turn it wide open everywhere we're building Barndos. But you got to progress into it because we don't want people to have a poor experience with a whole new process. But talk a little bit about SFH. What are some of the changes between an SFH versus a Barndo build?
The largest one is the ceiling heights. So instead of having giant vaults, I think we're building them all at 9-foot ceilings, and you have the option to go to a 10-foot ceiling. However, we don't do these big, giant, massive vaults in the living room. The wall cavities are a lot smaller. You're going to go back to a insulated, not spray foam, correct?
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of things. The biggest struggle doing what you're talking about with Heath was getting it affordable and maintaining quality.
Yeah.
So we're not going to lose quality. However, we have to make sure that it's affordable. So you got to roll the punches, and that's the biggest thing. And then at that point, as long as every one of our plans, and again, going back into this is we have a set amount of plans that we're going to offer. There's no alterations to those plans because we have literally cut them to the teeth to get clients in houses affordably to where they can enjoy that home. And so it is a semi-custom, but it's also permanent fix. We're going to let them choose countertops, cabinet colors, all the normal cosmetics, but we need to make sure that we protect that, the integrity of that decision.
Yep. Well, some of the things, so like some of the things that create affordability were structural changes, right? I mean, a barndominium is a superior unit any way you slice it, and that's all good and well if you can afford it, right? And we catch grief and slack all the time, like, oh, this other barndominium builder's way cheaper. That's great. We made a decision about 18 months ago that we would not deviate from the standards of what we selected, and so every barndominium is built the same way structurally. Internally, you can pick and choose and do whatever you would like, and you can custom create plans, do all that stuff. But when we build it, we're going to build to Barndo Co standards, because every time we've ever deviated from that standard, it's resulted in a poor experience for somebody. Mm-hmm. And so some things that are non-negotiables for Barndo. But in this line, we could negotiate on them because there's some differences there, right? You're not solving the Rubik's Cube of turning a metal building into a dwelling place. You're just building a home, but you're coming in with the same care and consideration. So some things that you can guarantee yourself on is, yes, the home is built differently. It's built conventionally. Mm-hmm. It's built, wood truss assembly, 2x4 exterior walls. It's built like that.
That's right.
The standard package comes with vinyl siding. We still do the board and batten across the front elevation of the home, so it still gives that appearance because we're using Barndo floor plans for these, slightly altered to fit the new construction style. But
I think he's trying to sell me on one.
yeah, and then shingle roofs instead of metal. You can upgrade to metal, but again, we're just looking at ways we can cut down on the affordability aspect. The biggest driver of affordability, though, was how do we build it faster? Fewer days on job, less time involved in the planning. And the only way you could facilitate that was to build the same house over and over and over again and not allow people to come in and customize it. So, because a lot of people are like, well, I want to customize my house. Well, then you got to build Barndo because that's not what SFH is. SFH is meeting people where they are and realizing, like, this may not be forever. It may be. It may be your forever home. It is a great home. But here's the guarantee. The inside, we did not cut anything. We're still doing LVP throughout. We're still offering the same line of cabinets in the kitchens and bathrooms that are in our barndominiums. You're still getting the same level of countertops. You're still getting all Delta fixtures throughout the house, just like in Barndo. Right. We literally did not skimp on anything as far as the features of that home, other than the way it's built. Yeah, the way it's built, and because of the way it's built, you don't have the ability to do these giant vaulted ceilings and stuff that's synonymous with our stuff online. I mean, the biggest differentiator in a Barndo Co. Barndo and anything else that's out there is every one of ours.
It's still vast open spaces. It's just a 9-foot ceiling.
Yep, for sure. So again, you're not sacrificing comfort. You're only sacrificing certain things that go into that, and it's not like, the insulation's different. Why? It's more affordable, but also with the cavity spacing, and because you're not doing metal and you don't have all this evaporative cooling stuff that takes place in the Southeast, you're not solving that problem. You're still insulating above what the insulation requirements are for that home. Mm-hmm. So it's still over insulated compared to what code requires. Okay. And the home is still functional. So what it allowed people to do is get into a bigger home for less money, and it's quicker. So a couple of things, like if you're familiar with our product, you know all about onboarding. You know what that looks like. You know what that includes. You know that we're not just going to run out there and sign contracts. We're not going to do that. We're going to do our due diligence. And a lot of people get so frustrated. And it's because we're different. Onboarding is a different process than most builders. Like, we're not going to just run in and promise the world.
It's a very, very important process. One of the very most important things for us is site visits. Yep. So during that onboard process, you may choose an SFH plan and have a terrible lot. And we need to know, because this gives you the ability for us to go, hey, it's not buildable here. Yep. Either fall back and punt, find another piece of dirt, or do something else. Yep. But we need the onboarding process is what solves that.
Yep. And like I'm saying, in that design plan, like if you onboard with Barndo, you're paying $5,000 or $7,500, depending on if it's custom or not, or more if it's something. We've got some people designing some
crazy stuff,
and that takes more hours. Mm-hmm. But that's few and far between. The majority of people coming in, they're doing that, and that is a 45 to 90-day process typically. We have had people that took them 180 days to figure it out. And the thing is, we're giving you the ability to figure it out, because once it's done, that's what's being built. And so some of the frustration is I get it. We live in an instant gratification society. People want to be like, I onboarded, how fast can you start building my house? And what they don't realize is that the attention and the details in the beginning. You got to pick everything that goes in this house. We got to look at everything in this house. And when we deliver you this price, it is encompassing all aspects of this build. And we've gotten better at it. We've gotten better at facilitating it. And I think that if there's a complaint with Barndo, the number one thing is the people that never built with us, they all get mad. And it's because during that planning phase, they figured out they designed the home and their taste was bigger than their budget. And they get frustrated because they kind of get stuck. Again, SFH helps solve this problem a little bit, because we can always drop back and punt. But we wanted to keep onboarding a part of the SFH experience. So how does that play into a less customized option? Because we're still building on your lot and there's still a plan involved in it, and you still do get that plan, even though there's no changes to that plan, you still get that plan. We still want you to have the ability to choose to do business with us, not just be forced into a contract day one, because that's crazy. You hear people all the time talk about, like, well, there's just a lot of pressure from their sales team. pressure to onboard you is way different than pressure to close you, because until you onboard, nobody's going to spend the time and care and consideration with you because you're not a serious buyer.
Right.
The moment you onboard, you got full attention, and there is going to be a lot of care and consideration that goes into this, and we're going to discover, is this feasible for you and your family? And it may not be. And that's the beauty of what you've done, because now you have resources, you've been educated, you have a proposal, you have plans, you can go shop the market. And a lot of people go shop and come back because they realize it really wasn't that bad. You know, they're uneducated to what other people are charging. But so how does that look? What does onboarding look like for SFH? It's $2,500, right? What does that include? It includes your site visit, so we can come out there and determine what does the lot look like, what kind of upgrades and property improvements do we have to make to get your driveway put in, to get your utilities on site, to get your pad created, to get everything there, to have conversations around what your vision looks like for that property. You got to know what that costs, and it's different because it's on your lot. Every build we do, it's different. What is your soils? Where is the location? How long is the driveway?
I love this.
Yeah. So like everything is
Guys,
different.
this was a conversation in the beginning where I was like, all these things we have to know. And now this is what you got.
Yeah. So we don't want someone to execute a contract unless we've planned to fail. Mm-hmm. And that's what your onboarding is. We're planning for failure on every front. We want to look at every single thing. The other side of onboarding, the fun part, is you're going to get to come into a design center. You're going to get to pick out all your selections. You're going to touch the tile that's going in your shower. You're going to see the color of the paint going on your wall. You're going to play with all those Delta fixtures and find the ones that you like and the color you want and the light fixtures and all the things. And you're going to put that into there. And you know, at this point, this is my home. The cabinets, right? I love it. I love watching husband and wife go round and round and round and round the island in there and argue over, the cabinets. And finally, the men just surrender, right? If you're smart, if you're smart, man, surrender. But you get that whole thing, and then you're going to get a bill price. The cool thing about SFH that's different than Barndo is you can go on the website right now, click the SFH Homes thing, and it's got a price on it.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that, we didn't just pull this out of thin air. We took the 10 most popular plans.
Yep.
People choose these plans over and over and over. Even if they go into Barndo Co in the beginning and they want to alter some things, they always start with these plans every time.
Yep.
And so you're not getting an inferior product. You're getting the same identical plan. The only difference is it's been changed to the SFH process.
That's right. To fit the budget.
So we have a maple. There's an SFH maple.
Yep. A cottonwood.
Yeah, we have them all.
An aspen. A
so
willow.
You're getting what you want.
Yep. And we even did some things differently because there is a more affordable way to put porches on that house. But then some people want that gable style porch. Okay. Right. Well, here's two options. And the cool thing is you can literally go on the website and see what it costs. That is the cost to build that house. The only thing that's not included in that is your septic, utilities, and your lot improvements, right? That is the cost to build that home. And that includes everything that goes inside of that home. Turnkey. Every standard feature.
Except furniture.
Yep. Turnkey. So there's nothing there. Like you could onboard with SFH today, see that price, know it fits your budget, and you can get that home built for that. The only caveat is what's it take to get it ready for building, right? And then if you choose a home and you got money in your budget to do upgrades, there's a whole list of upgrades you can do to that home to customize it, even further. But that's not the client that's looking for SFH. Will we sell them? 100%. The ones that have onboarded recently, a couple of them are doing some upgrades. That's cool. But the biggest thing here is we wanted to meet clients where they are, right? This is what I can afford today. Great, let's build it, right? Your family needs a home. Let's build it. Protect the investment. And they're priced so affordably that it's opening up possibilities for people that did not have a possibility before. And you're still getting a really great quality home. You're just sacrificing a few things.
Like we have the client aspect. We also have a couple of builders that have said, hey, we got property, want to build 5 of these in a row.
Yep.
And that's a big deal for us.
Yep.
That's a really cool situation. So if you're an investor, hook us up. You got dirt, we'll do it.
What's funny is we did it for clients, and then literally when we rolled out pricing, my inbox is filled with investors that are like, we want to build 10.
That's right.
And it's because of how aggressively we price this into the marketplace, because there's room there for them to build them, sell them for a profit, and still get people into an affordable line of product. So I don't know of anything turnkey built that's priced where we've priced SFH in the markets that we're building in.
That's right.
And it 100% goes back to the credit of the team and how hard they work to get it there and the build cycle time. So some of the changes, again, it affects how long are you in design? You're not. You onboard, you should go from onboard to contract inside of 2 weeks. And when that happens, that means we're hustling the ball to get out there, look at your property, get all these quotes and stuff like that. Like 30 days at the most.
And the other thing is this: is I want, just based on what you're talking about there. The other thing is this: is that if you are an SFH client, whether you're an investor or you're an actual single family, the goal is for you to walk in, choose all these options, and stand back, because this is about speed.
Yep.
And so we need to build this thing super fast, super efficient, and no changes, no nothing. I have the full build sheet. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yeah, it's taking some of the custom aspects out of it, because barndominiums, one is you're fighting every county because they've never seen them, and they've never seen the way we build. And even with engineering and everything else, it's still a battle, and people get upset about that. But what's been really neat is clients see it now. They see the opposition sometimes that cause delays in construction, because it's not us. We're not incentivized to take a long time to build them. We want to build them as efficiently and quickly. And
I have this conversation every week.
But clients know.
That's literally what I'm saying. And we had a client a couple of days ago. They were arguing about how long it's taken, and I had to literally look at them and go, "There's no one in this group of people that's talking that wants this house built faster than me." And you know why?
Yeah, 100%. Well, the bigger we've gotten, the more it's put pressure on municipalities. Mm-hmm. But with SFH, that goes out the window.
That's right.
You don't have engineering downtime. You don't have any of that stuff. It's all been pre-baked.
That's right.
So you're literally walking in, and it's like a cake shop analogy would be. Could you walk into our cake shop and custom dream your dream wedding cake with 5 different flavors and 9 different colors of icing and all this stuff, and have all this stuff on it, and decorations and all this kind of stuff, and get it? Of course you can.
Right.
But if you look over in the glass over here, is there something there today that's pre-baked that meets the need that you have in this moment?
That's a great analogy.
Now there is.
Yeah.
Now there is. And it's not just a thing. It's not just like a donut. No, there's tons of things in the window with SFH, and it opens up the realm of possibility for so many more people. And I'm excited about it. Now, you can't talk about the product without talking about the partnerships and the other side of this business. Is how in the world can we facilitate financing these on a grander scale? So a lot of we have a preferred lender, Prime Lending.
Right.
They've come in and they've done an incredible job with the Barndos and getting people in and getting construction loans. And they can handle so many different things. They can do VA, they can do FHA, they can do USDA, they can do conventional. We love conventional, but they can do so many things that if you go to the barndomco.com and look at the top, they're at the top. One of the conversations we had when we launched this was like, hey, the guys, we're coming out with this affordable product. It's going to ramp up. There's going to be a lot of people. How quickly can we work through this? And our goal is to get contract ready with pre-approval ready so that you go straight into closing. Mm-hmm. Another thing that we've been working on is how do we get those people in the office? So you come in the office and pick your selections. You walk right down the hall and you sit down with a Prime Lending person and talk to them in person and get everything detailed out to make sure you're ready to go to underwriting and get into closing immediately. And we've solved that. And that's coming soon. Soon there will be people in desks at locations to facilitate that. Does that mean you have to use our lender? Absolutely not. Does that mean that you will probably have a better experience? I think so. But that aspect of it, and the one thing that the president of the bank looked at us and said was, there's not a lot of loan programs for this type of affordability. And we were like, how do we solve that? And so we partnered up and created a custom program that will fully roll out probably early 2025. But they're already taking pre-applicants. We already have people walking through this process. And so they have a private funded Barndo Co exclusive product for SFH, but it also helps Barndo families. But it's specifically for SFH because sometimes in these lower build costs, there's not a lot of product because why? Banks make money on the amount of money they loan. And so it limits the playing field a little bit. This gives you the ability to build this home affordably, save a ton of money, and we've solved your finance issues. Like we can put you in front of someone to get you qualified. And what we're working towards is to get most people. And again, your credit is your credit, but to get most people where there's a cap on out-of-pocket expenses because of the relationships and the partnerships and the way that we've structured this. So the amount of volume that is coming in to do this is kind of like, rather than be a builder that goes and has their own private bank where we're making money off of you on the backside, we just reallocated that effort and said, no, I don't care about that. What I care about is getting more people in products. I want to make more dreams a reality. I want you to facilitate that. How do we do it? And because of the way that we structured it, you're receiving the benefit of every single thing that goes into that build. And so that is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And I don't know all the details of it, nor how it all operates. And I dang sure don't want to say something where somebody's like drilling me to the wall about, how we've structured it or anything like that. We went to the bank and said, we want to put 1,000 people in SFH Homes, and we want to do it in the states that we build in, and we need to know how to do it. And they're like, this is going to be hard. Right. And so we let them, and for 3 months, they worked on that product. And they came back and said, hey, we're going to build a product in our bank, and we're going to back it with our own capital money to make sure that this goes off effectively. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And so we're solving a multitude of problems. So if you're listening to this and you've been dreaming about building on your property, you've got that property from your grandma's place, or you bought a piece of property, or and you're just thinking like, this is impossible, right? You're disheartened, you're disenfranchised because you're like, I can't control the market. None of us can. None of us can. None of us can.
It's super advantageous to investors. It's super advantageous to the clients. It's super advantageous to realtors. If you're a realtor, hit us up.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Yep.
So, it's a big deal.
Well, it's solving a problem. And nobody's really tackled it because everybody's kind of sat back on their laurels and said, rates will drop. Mm-hmm. And I believe that's true, but they're never returning to what they were. No. And a lot of people have just built their business on, it's not my job to help these people. It's the federal government's job, and I'm just too proactive for that. So I wanted to meet people where they are. So I could promise you this. You might not have been able to afford the barndominium route, but your family needs a home, and you got a dream, and we're going to make it a freaking reality, and we've got it with SFH Homes.
We have Oprah here, and everybody gets a home.
Everybody gets a home.
Everybody gets a home.
Hey, that's how every meeting starts. Like they have to. He's right.
That's how it started.
I'm a lunatic.
How can we do this?
Yeah, I want everyone to win.
Yeah.
I want everyone to win, and so I will stop at no cost. And they told me it's impossible to do it with the product we have. Then let's create a new freaking product.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And so we're here. We're excited about it. It's launching. It's kind of like in an early rollout. And the goal is in the next 12 months to have this thing full stream everywhere we build. Tennessee, we're coming for you. We had to test it in a couple markets where we already had some stability. But I'm hoping Tennessee gets turned on in the next 6 months or so. And then eventually we'll have all the maps. Yeah, have all the maps matching.
Are you talking about SFH?
SFH, yeah. So, yeah, you can build Barndos in Eastern Tennessee with us. But the goal is to do that, and as we expand, we want to take all the products to every new location, and we have a lot of new locations on the horizon. We're already dreaming about those. We're already making some moves in some of those markets, and there'll be more of that coming.
We're super excited.
Yeah. So
this is a great thing.
It is a great thing. It is a great thing. Here's the frustrating part for me. When somebody is in dream mode, you see a side of them that's so excited, and then when reality hits, you see that diminish. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that frustration, that's why I don't take it personal. Like, I'm the same way. Like, if I was dreaming of this car and I went into a car dealership and I'd picked every bell and whistle possible and, this is what I've always wanted, and then they hit me with a price and it's $40,000 more than I was anticipating, I'm going to go online and be like, this dealership sucks, right? Because it's just human nature. You need to get it off your chest. I don't take that personal at all. Some will, some won't, so what is the saying in sales? For me, it's some will, some won't, so why?
Yeah, but I think the main goal of this entire thing was we had people, just like what you said, where their taste got a little bit out of control to their budget. And our goal is to not have you give up.
Yep.
Our goal is for you to stand up and say, hey, not a problem. Everything's okay. We have a plan B. We can still get you in the same square footage, be within your budget, and everybody goes home happy.
That's right.
That's the goal.
That's it.
Because most people will say, hey, you can't afford that car, but you can afford the cheapest one on the corner of the lot and it's used. That's not our goal. Our goal is to say, hey, we might not be able to do this custom plan, but we definitely can still put you in a brand new house on your lot with the same square footage.
Yep.
And you're good to go.
Yep.
Dream complete, crisis averted.
Yeah, well, and here's what we know. Everybody's going to renovate. everybody's going to make
Yes.
improvements. Everybody's going to do those
Yeah.
things. And so you just got to have a place to start.
That's right.
And so we're trying to provide more canvas to more
Plant
people.
a flag. That's all we want you to do is plant a flag.
That's right. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That is, and here's the thing. I'm super passionate about it because it's helping people. And like the Barndo brand, like I love barndominiums more than I love anything on this planet Earth. There's nothing that I love more. I think about them all day, every day. Like I'm so excited when I see.
Yeah, this dude has like a daggone like hidden file of Barndo plans that he's having our designer design. Just so y'all know, every week I get this random like something.
Yeah, I love it, but I love people more than I love products, and so this was in a big move to help more people, and I hope that people take advantage of it because it is a great deal. And when you get down and you look at it and you look at what the cost is on that, and you see the appraised values come in, you're going to be in a position where you're like, this was a great move for me and my family today. And I couldn't be more happy about it, man. I don't even know what else to say. Like I can't. It's vision and value. The vision is I want to help as many people as possible. You share that vision. Our whole company shares that vision. They went to work. You know, it started with a bunch of arguments at the table, you know, about profitability because this is a business. We're not a charity, right?
That's right.
This is a business. We make a profit. We do good things with that profit, but we make a profit. This is a business. But there's always that piece of me that's like, I don't care. Help people. And so I challenged them. They delivered, and we have an incredible new line of products coming out. And you know, I hope it helps people achieve their dream because that's the most important piece of the entire thing. It's the reason why I wake up and do what we do. If it was just to come in and do something to make money, I would pick something a hell of a lot easier than building houses.
TJ is more happy to see your handprints in concrete than us to make a bottom line profit. Just so y'all know,
100%. I love
1,000%. Every time some family puts their handprints in something, he's like, Let's frame this. I'm like, let's build a house, guys. Let's build a house.
Yeah. There's so many things you could do that's way easier than this to make money, man.
Yeah,
And like, here's the thing. Like, we love everybody that spends money with us. This is, you know, we couldn't do what we do if we limited that. Like,
well, we don't want to lose the personal aspect of it. So you're not just a number. We don't build track homes.
Nope.
You're still getting the same service. You're still getting the, you know, the spotlight is still on you, whether it's SFH or it's Barndo. The only catch is that you still get the same project manager. You still get the same service from your sales agent. Everything is the same. The only difference is you can afford it.
Yep. And look, if you're listening to this and you've heard it, man, I see some
here karate chopping this thing.
I see some what I do with my hands.
I know, literally.
I've seen so many people, like I say, you get frustrated. And we live in a world where people do get taken advantage of. And people, you know, I get it. I share that with consumers. But there's a lot of people that get so frustrated with affordability and like they just like they lose sight of reality for a minute. And here's what I would tell you. We're growing like a wildfire. And you're not a number to us. We care and we have care and consideration, and we put in place this new client experience thing. You can go back and watch the episode with Jordan and Haley where we're kind of talking about that. And the purpose of that is for you to have a place that's non-biased to voice your concerns. And here's what I would say. If you've had an experience with us and in your mind it was subpar, you can go and post that on Facebook or Google. That's great. That's your right. And there are people that do it. And it doesn't hurt my feelings at all, because it helps me get better. But if you've had that experience and you're like, oh man, I had some guy comment on one of these things, was like, it's a bait and switch, worst company in the world. And I had to like go through the thing, like, does this guy actually come through? And I had conversations around it. Like, why does he feel that way? Because legacy is one of our core values, and legacy is how you make people feel. Regardless if you built, I don't want you to feel that way. And here's the thing, guys, right? I have 7 kids at home still, and if I go through the drive-thru, there's a 99.9% chance my order's wrong, right? And I've got kids screaming in the back because they didn't get their food, or they got the wrong food, or God forbid Chick-fil-A put the wrong sauce counts in the bag because, you know, I got half my family's Team Polynesian, half of them's Team Chick-fil-A, and then I got one kid that's just ranch on everything, right? They're like, ain't even no ranch, throw it out the window. You know, like, if in that moment you can feel that frustration, when you're talking about your dreams, hopes, ambitions, and your life savings, you're going to feel that. But if you would just reach out and reconnect, we are solving that problem all the time. Here's the number one thing with growth is we get really good at servicing 10 people and we have 90 of you. So we build a team that's really good at servicing 100 and now there's 200 of you. And so we're constantly solving that equation. And some of the things that we've done is we are now expanding internally faster than externally to create an environment where you don't feel a rush or that you've been forgotten or any of those things. But here's what you got to know. This company is built with human beings. 2 of them right here. I've made more mistakes than anybody ever. There's no one that works in our company that's made more catastrophic mistakes than me. And so in saying that, it's a period of grace. If you feel like you're doing something or you've had a poor experience, send us a message and let's talk about it. I'm not promising you're going to feel better about it, right? This is the world we live in. It's a business at the end of the day. Like, there's hard decisions that have to be made. And you're not going to always like the decisions that were made. You're not going to always like the outcomes. But I promise you, it helps us get better. And if you want to post it on Google because it gives you some relief, do it. That's fine. Like we have just as many 5-star reviews, more 5-star reviews than ones. But look, everybody is important to me. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you've had a subpar experience, I'm sorry for that. I would love to know about it, and I would love to freaking look at how we can improve that so that you don't feel excluded from what we're trying to do, because I do care about people. And that's a sidebar that just popped in my head to talk about that, but it's real. We're a company run by human beings. Can we make mistakes? Sure. Do we do things wrong? Sure. Do we always try to do the right thing? Without a shadow of a doubt. But if you're there, I know what it feels like to feel like you're forgotten or like, hey, I went through this process and I couldn't afford to build. We have this new vehicle. Mm-hmm. Don't let that, something stand in your way from reaching back out, because we want you to win. We want you to have a great experience. And here's the thing. I don't have a magic wand to control the economy or costs of living or anything where I can say, I really care about Bob and Mary so much, let me wave my magic Barndo wand and knock 30% off their build. I can't do it. It doesn't exist. It's not real, right? We have to leave the table frustrated with one another. I'm frustrated you didn't get your hopes, dreams, and builds, and we're not going to be able to build your home. You're frustrated because you feel like we couldn't make it work for your budget. And here's what I'm telling you. I don't have a magic wand, but I do have a passion for helping people. Ross has a passion for helping people. Our team has a passion for helping people, and we create things like SFH. So that's my little sidebar conversation there. Just a moment of vulnerability, let you know, hey, we're human beings, and we're growing, and we're doing great things, but we're going to get it wrong sometimes. And if you feel like that was you, let us know. We want to make it right. We want to make you feel connected and included. And some of you are never going to be happy, and that's okay too, right? And if you're a business leader and you own a business and you're listening to this, it's okay. It's okay. You're not going to please everybody. You're never going to. You're never going to. Never. I could literally post a check that we gave $148,850 and get a message in my inbox telling me that we're idiots. And if that infuriates someone, it happens.
It does.
It happens. My wife got messages and I'm like, if that makes people angry, building houses for them is definitely going to. So anyway, that's just a little sidebar to kind of put a hook back in that. But man, I'm pumped about the SFH thing. And I just want to kind of set the bar there. If you've talked to us in the past, we did not have this product, you were priced out of the market, and you're sitting there thinking you still haven't had a way to act, reach back out. There's non-biased here. Reach back out. Let's plug you in. Let's get you in one of these homes. We want your family to have the home of your dreams, and we can do it with a new product.
It is Southern Farmhouse Homes, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, Southern Farmhouse.
Yeah.
It's just,
You're good, I know.
We just call it SFH.
I've had more people ask me what SFH is.
To be honest, how did SFH start? We were like, we just got to build stick frame houses, and we said SFH for short, and I was like, we can't go to the market with stick frame houses, so we come up with Southern Farmhouse, and that's how we designed them. So a little bit of the revamp, if you look at the elevations, they have the farmhouse character, and part of that is because they come from Barndo. They're Barndo children.
Right.
But yeah, Southern Farmhouse Collection. It's available online. You can go to our website, thebarndomco.com. Click at the top, SFH. If you click on plans, you'll see 2 different things, Barndo plans and SFH plans. You can go in and view those. They're constantly updating that with some of the standards and different things that are included in those homes, but the prices are published, guys. They're published. And so you don't there's literally no worry in your brain, because you can pick a plan, you know what it costs, you can connect with an agent, and you can start talking about how you turn that thing into reality immediately. But If you're listening right now and you got a question, right? You thought of something in this and we didn't cover it, or you had something stick out in your brain and you're like, man, I'd really like to know the answer to this. I'm going to ask you to do something. Drop it in the comments here on this YouTube or anywhere that you see this rolling out, and we will answer it either directly to you or we'll bring it up on a future episode with one of our barn burner segments. We value that. Like, we're here to make this a vehicle and a resource to help you, even if you're not in our build area. We want to give you tools and resources to have a successful build no matter where you're at. So if you got a question, drop it in the comments. We'll get to you either personally or we'll bring it up on an episode and we'll tag you in it. But I appreciate you guys, and thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.